Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you all have been having an amazing summer. So in true Natasha fashion, I decided to film my summer internship, kind of like do a vlog on the last possible week I've been here. I've been meaning to do this forever, and now this is my last week here. So right now I'm on my lunch break, so don't mind me, I'm gonna be eating. I have little the white cheddar bites from Zaxby's. But anyway, so basically I'm a part of the Student Job Program. So the way that works is during the spring semester, I want to say it was the spring semester, I think, yeah, the spring semester, we applied as basically you apply to be a student intern at a Banfield. And if you don't know, Banfield is like the largest veterinary medicine corporation in the United States, and they have like over 1,000 hospitals all across the US. So a good thing about the program is they allow you, when you apply, you pick three you pick three hospitals that you could possibly work in. So it doesn't have to be like in the same area. You could pick like 3 different states if you wanted to. So like any other job, you basically like upload your resume and all that, and then they call you and you do an over the phone interview. And then around spring break is when they called me to tell me that I got accepted to the program. So I've been staying with my boyfriend here, and the internship's been pretty cool. Honestly, like, I worked as a technician before, so I'm not doing anything different. Like, I'm literally working as a technician basically. But yeah, so that would be my only complaint. Like, I feel like I'm not progressing in that aspect. And also, there's people that I've seen that have been doing the Banfield internships at other clinics, and they had the opportunity to like perform dentals or even do neuters and stuff. I never had that chance. So I think it just depends at the clinic and the doctor that you're working with, and like what they let you do and what they don't let you do. I feel like ideally you would like a position that allows you to do more, because hello, we're trying to be doctors, so you want to do as much as possible. Oh, and I forgot to say, the program is a 10-week program, but you don't have to stay the entire 10 weeks. You can pick up to 10 weeks. I decided to stay the entire 10 weeks. So here I am, my 10th week, finally filling you guys in. But yeah, I would say overall, everyone at this clinic is pretty cool. One of the veterinarians actually graduated from Tuskegee, so that's awesome, and she's super nice. And then the veterinarian who is technically like my mentor, she graduated from the University of Florida. And then they also have a new veterinarian who she just graduated vet school like this year, and she's working there now too, and she is from St. George. But they're all really nice and super cool, and they answer like any of the millions of questions I have, which is great. Unfortunately though, I'm not going to be able to like really film anything that I do there, so I would have liked to like take you guys along to see like what a day involves, but I can't film in there, so I guess I'll kind of just give you updates of what goes on in the day. But just so you know, today I started at 7 a.m., which is the earliest I have ever had to be anywhere in my entire life. So this was a change, to get myself to get up that early and be here when it's basically dark outside. It's been interesting, but my shift ends at 3, and my lunch is from 12 to 1. So when I get back, I only have 2 more hours to grind out, and that's not that bad. And lunch is over. It is so hot down here. Just walking from my car, right there, to the door. I think I might pass out. Another 7 to 3 shift. I'm barely awake and the sun is barely out. Still kind of dark outside. I hate being up before the sun. nonstop all day. I am just now going on lunch. I was supposed to be out at 12, but I just got a break. Let's see. We had kitten vaccines, a dog that was at the beach and ate sand. That one was fun. We had to give him an enema, and he was literally like pouring sand out of his butt. So that poor dog. Let's see what else. Oh, and then a blocked cat came in, and I don't know if you know, but like cats being blocked, that can be a very dangerous situation. If they're blocked for too long, they could potentially die. So I don't know, because I left right when that cat came in, but they did do the x-rays, and they saw that he was probably blocked. That's caused basically by like sediments or stuff like that getting trapped in their ureters, I think, or their urethra, one of those. I'm not 100% sure, but basically it just blocks urine from being able to pass, and they have to go in with a catheter and try to unblock it. So hopefully when I come back they're doing that, and I'll be able to see that getting done. But now I'm just going to my all-time favorite place for lunch.
Hi, how are you?
I love how yesterday during lunch I was sitting here complaining about how hot it was coming back from lunch, and then today it was torrential downpouring. But that is sunny South Florida for you. Completely unpredictable. Alright, so I didn't have to go into work today because today's my day off, but I thought I would update you guys on the case from yesterday with the dog that was pooping sand, because I think it was pretty cool. So basically, again, to like reiterate, the dog comes into the clinic. The owner says that he is like severely constipated, crying out when he tries to defecate, and when he does try, like liquid drops come out, but he's not really able to pass a bowel movement. She said she gave him laxatives and he still wasn't able to go. So she brought him in, but he was still eating and drinking fine. And over the weekend, they had gone to the beach, is what she said. So when he came into the clinic, we took radiographs of him, and you can actually see that he is completely filled with sand. I don't know what he was doing at the beach. Homie must have been hangry because he ate the entire shoreline. But we ended up having to give him IV fluids because we thought he would be pretty dehydrated, and they gave him an enema and kind of tried to help flush some of that, like flush and allow him to pass a bowel movement. And when we did that, it was literally sands like pouring out of his butt, like obviously mixed in with all his fecal matter and stuff, but it was like mostly sand, and he was basically like a water hose after that, because every time we put him back in his cage, just sand would go shooting out, and it was a hot mess. But I'm sure that probably felt like so relieving for that poor dog. But we did send him home with antibiotics in case he has like any, in case he ingested anything funky, and just to make sure that he doesn't get an infection or anything. And I'm not 100% sure how that case ended because I left early yesterday, but I have a picture of the x-rays to show you guys because I thought it would be cool to go into. Okay, this right here is a lateral view of his x-ray, which means that he's laying on his side. And this right here is a marker. So you mark the side that they're laying on. So he was laying on his right side, which means that we are looking at the left side of his body. So he would have been laying on the table like this, and the x-ray shot straight through like that. So basically just a little anatomy. Here's his lungs right here. This spot right here is his liver. You can't really see, but his spleen should be here, and it curves around and shows up again up here. His kidneys would be like two balls that should be showing up right here, but you can't really see it that well defined. His stomach is also right here. And then this and this are his intestines. So you can see his large intestine is super full, and all this like light colored opacity is sand. So here is air and gas in his intestines, this dark in the loops, but this light color that it's picking up is all sand, and you see it's like literally packed in there. So yeah, I just think radiographs are fun to try to interpret. They're kind of difficult in my opinion, like to learn 100% like what everything normal is supposed to look like. So I always like trying to look at them and kind of guess what's going on before the doctor looks at it. But yeah, that's about all I have for today. So I've had the chance to work out more this summer because I feel like I have more time. But I usually go to Planet Fitness, but since I'm staying with PJ, now we're going to UFit because that's the gym that he goes to. And it is very packed today. Like almost every parking spot is taken. This is crazy. There's even people parked on the sides. I don't know if you can see, like there. So I'm on my way to work. Today is my second to last day at Banfield. It's funny because I think in the entire 10 weeks that I've been there, I probably worked like 2 7 to 3 shifts. And then this week alone, I've worked 3 7 to 3 shifts. But I kind of actually really like this. Like, it's starting to grow on me. I feel really productive because on a regular day, like if I had the day off, I wouldn't be waking up that early or getting anything done. But this way, you know, I get to work 8 hours and then I get off and I still have a good amount of the day left. You know, I'm really digging it. So, and then I tried something different with my hair today. I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of like it. I kind of don't. I know by the end of the day, this is going to be looking like a hot mess. So, we'll see. We have another pretty sunset this morning. How pleasant. So I got sent home early because there were way too many of us and not much of anything going on. Let's see, from this morning, probably the biggest case to stand out that we saw was this dog who came in for euthanasia. He was like an 18-year-old dog, so he had lived a long life. 18 years is crazy. But he was the cutest dog ever. Like, for a really old dog, he was adorable. I love him. But it was sad because the owner was saying that she was like an older lady, and she was saying that her husband picked the dog out when he was a little puppy, and her husband has since passed away, and the dog was like her only memory left of her husband, and now she's putting him down. And oh my gosh, like, let me tell you, I have done a good amount of euthanasias working as a tech, and I've seen a lot, and I don't usually get emotional, but listening to her story and then seeing her cry, like, I was tearing up in there with them. And Banfield has this like really nice setup in their exam rooms that they do the euthanasias in, where like the lights are really dim, and I don't know, it makes it really cozy, but I think it also makes me like more emotional because everything's so like quiet and dark and then sad. So that was a hard one. He was such a cute dog, but I think they did the right thing. He was old and he wasn't living a good quality of life anymore. He was using the bathroom on himself, coughing and sneezing all the time and just uncomfortable. So sometimes it's what you have to do to kind of, you know, help them with the transition in an easier way. So that's probably one of the harder parts about working in vet medicine, but it's also kind of nice to know that you help that animal not suffer anymore. Here's my daily welcome. I'm sure you can hear them already. Hello. And there we go, sniffing away. As I do every single day. I did. So I had today off again, and I'm sure you can tell I did something different with my hair. But that's one plus side to working at Banfield, or at least the Banfield that I'm at. We're open 7 days a week, so Monday through Sunday from 7 to 7 on the weekdays, and then about 7 to 6 on the weekends. I mean, the clinic isn't open that whole time. I think we open at 9 every day, but we're there from 7. So it's a lot easier to work 40 hours a week without having to be there 5 days a week, you know? So like, for example, at the last clinic I worked at, I worked 8 to 6, 5 days a week, whereas here I can get like 2 days off in a week and still make full time, which is pretty cool. But right now I am going to a Mexican restaurant because it is my go away dinner with the clinic. So yeah, like it's worked out perfectly because everybody there also loves this restaurant and it is my favorite place to go to. El Jalisco's, I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's awesome. I love it. So when they were all like, oh, we should go to El Jalisco, I was like, yes, for sure. So I'm on my way there now.
Yeah, this hit the ground, so.
So in that last clip that you'd seen, we basically ended our night after dinner at Sugar Rush Factory, which is this place that makes like gourmet milkshakes basically with like giant pieces of cake on top, and they're all really nicely decorated. So I tried to film like one of my friends what he got, but yeah, we were out there like pretty late. So it was a lot of fun. It was the last time that I get to see my mentor, so that was sad, but she already is trying to get me to come back next summer, so that's something I'll probably try to do again. But now I am on my way to start my last shift. I'm making this super long walk from the parking lot into Banfield. Alright guys, so I absolutely suck and completely forgot to keep vlogging for the rest of the week. So I need to work on that and get better at that. But I basically decided that since I finished with my internship, I will give you kind of like a summary of my Banfield student internship in case it's something that you are interested in doing in the future. So basically it's at max a 10-week internship, which you could of course choose to do less than 10 weeks, it's up to you. In the future, if I were to do it again, I definitely wouldn't spend my entire summer at Banfield. There's other things that I'm interested in doing. For example, I had planned to intern with a large animal veterinarian, which I was dying to do, and but we ended up finding out that school starts a lot earlier than it has ever started in my entire life this year, so I'm not gonna have the opportunity to do that. But I also plan to do World Vets, which if you haven't heard of it, it basically is a program which takes veterinarians, vet techs, vet students overseas to like lower economic areas, and it allows you to perform like low-cost spay and neuters and vaccines and stuff for the people of those areas. And that's just something like an amazing opportunity that I'm dying to do, and I kind of regret not doing this year. So so that's just something to think about. Like there's a lot of other internships and experiences that you could get, so I think it would be a lot more worthwhile if you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Let's see, the program is advertised as spending, I think they say like 50% of your time working as a technician and 50% of your time working and being mentored by a veterinarian. But when I started at this clinic, they told me that it was going to be 80% of the time working as a technician, 20% of the time being mentored by a veterinarian. So I didn't mind that, but in reality, I don't feel like I got any time being mentored by a veterinarian. It was 100% of the time me just working as a technician. So that's the only downside to that. And then like I said, it definitely varies between clinics, because I know people who were like very hands-on doing a lot of amazing things. I know people who literally didn't get to do anything and were cleaning cages and were complaining about that. So it depends on who you're with and stuff like that. I didn't mind the internship because I don't mind working as a technician. I kind of enjoy that work. But like I said before, the only thing is that I didn't like that I feel like I kind of did less than I was doing before at other clinics. And then as far as mentorship, it was basically like anytime there was like a cool case or something different, they would kind of point it out to me. But a lot of times I would just ask and be like, oh, so what's going on with that? Or what is this? And they would explain it to me. But I don't feel like I wasn't like working as a doctor. I wasn't doing physical exams. I wasn't, you know, that kind of stuff. Obviously wasn't doing any surgeries or anything. So that's the only thing, is like I'm not really sure, because like in the they like email you a sheet telling you types of things you're gonna do, and they talk about like surgeries, dentals, monitoring for surgeries, all that stuff. Everything else I have learned before. So that's another thing. If you have zero experience working as a technician, I've heard some people tell me that at their clinics, they didn't really get to even learn how to like draw blood or anything like that. So luckily I just knew how to do all that stuff before, so they didn't have to teach me. I kind of just like jumped right in. But that's something to think about as well, like whether or not they're going to take the time to show you. But I'm sure if you ask and stay on top of them, they will definitely take the time to show you. But they're also like fully functioning working clinics, so I just don't know. I guess it depends on where you're at, or like how much time they have to take you aside and teach you things. But yeah, overall I think my experience was pretty pleasant, and I would probably do it again. I just wouldn't do it for as long as I did this summer. So I also have some interesting things from the last day I was there that I thought I would show you real quick. Okay, so this right here is a blood smear that I made. Basically, you take a drop of blood, you put it on a slide, and you use another slide to kind of like smear that drop of blood, and then you stain it. And you can see, like, let's see, these are all red blood cells, all these things. These are white blood cells. So these are eosinophils, these are neutrophils, which basically are your like first line of defense in like a bacterial infection or something like that. These are eosinophils, which more likely respond to like parasitic infections. But you can tell the difference because neutrophils are like more purple, whereas eosinophils are a little red, and like you see how they have like little speckles here. I don't know if it's hard to see. Let's see. So these are more neutrophils, and I really don't know what that is. All right, and then these here are macrophages. So basically, those are your second line of defense in like bacterial infections, or like they can destroy like cancer cells, stuff like that, but they basically just like engulf like foreign dangerous cells and destroy them that way. And that right there is another macrophage, and then some more red blood cells. And I also wanted to show you this radiograph that we were looking at. So this was an older dog. He was always coughing and stuff. I don't think he came in for coughing. He came in for something else. We actually suspect that he's in kidney failure. But what we did figure out is, you can see right here that this is his trachea. And do you see how like right here it starts narrowing? It should be this diameter throughout the entire place. So he does have a collapsed trachea, which I actually had to do a talk on last semester for one of our classes. So basically this can be caused, like certain breeds are predisposed to this. And honestly, you can't really repair unless you want to surgically repair it and you put like rings in to kind of widen it back out. But most of the time they do well with like medical management, like cough suppressants and stuff like that that help kind of prevent it from progressing. This right here is a microchip, which I always think are kind of cool that they show up in your x-rays. And then again, this triangle here is basically his lungs, and this right here is his heart. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you this time. I am planning to make videos for like back to school, kind of. I've had some people ask me to make a like how do I study video, and I also plan to make a video about things that I think are kind of essential to bring to vet school. But if you have any questions, or if there's anything that you would like to see, please let me know. You could comment down below. I also have a vet school Instagram if you want to keep up with me on there. I'll also put that down below. But anyway, you guys have a nice rest of your summer, and I'll see you next time.